Alright, NASCAR's unveiled the new 7th generation NASCAR race car. It's going to be racing next year for 2022. Now, the sweet thing is, the car is overhauled completely compared to the previous iterations of the cars that they used to have on track. So now you have a rear transaxle, a sequential gearbox with 5 speeds, and a switch from the 5-lug steel wheel to an 18-inch single lug alloy. So that's a pretty cool setup. So the sequential gears got the rear mounted transaxle, kind of like a Corvette and some other supercars. And that should be a nice 50-50 balance and weight distribution. So you got much larger brakes, 15-inch up front, 14s in the rear. You got multiple gear ratios you can pick and choose for different tracks. The only thing is, I'm glad that they kept the 358 motors, naturally aspirated pushrod motors, but you either have 550 or up to 670 horses, depending on what track you're on. So the 550 horse should be probably on the restrictor plate style tracks, and the 670 should carry over through all the other main tracks. I wish they would turn them up like they used to. Way back to 2014, these things were pushing almost 900 horses. I wish they would do something like that, especially with this more futuristic and more production variant of the car. So let's go ahead and showcase some of the cars. So this is the new Camaro, and we're going to see all the different cars that we got here. So much wider car than it used to be. Still got a 110-inch wheelbase. And like we talked about before, it's a more symmetrical body. So aerodynamic wise, it's not going to have the same issues as the current generation. So they're using the ZL1 as a basis for the Camaro. You can see it next to a street counterpart. Then you got the Ford Mustang, which I think is definitely the coolest looking of them all. And it's also derived off the GT500. Very sharp looking automobile, as you can clearly see. It's a side dual exit exhaust now, so instead of the single design that used to be on the previous car, you got both banks actually delivering the sound from each side of the car. So that should be a pretty throaty sound compared to the pretty thunderous sound that these cars are known for anyway. So please comment below what you think. So once again, this is the Mustang, which looks really sharp. Should be pretty cool. So they're all going to debut in Daytona. They're going to have their whole first season for next year. So I'm hoping for some really cool racing. I hope they decide to add the power back into these cars again, because these platforms can easily handle that. And it should be really interesting to see with these sequential gearboxes and much wider tires that they run now on this new generation car. So once again, you got the Mustang there, side by side with a street counterpart. It's a pretty cool looking car overall. And then we're going to get to the Toyotas eventually. Once again, this is the first take of my impressions of the new NASCARs. New 7th generation vehicle. There's the Camry body style, probably based off the TRD edition of the car. Definitely a mean looking automobile. You can see it's all the body's all symmetrical, so what's really nice. So aerodynamic wise, these cars should rely more on a mechanical grip. And that should be pretty exciting. So there you go. So the new next gen NASCARs. So you got Ford, Chevy, and Toyota bringing their own new iteration of the race vehicles. That should be pretty neat to see on track. So comment below which design you like the most. So really sweet setup overall. So thanks for tuning to the video. We'll catch you a lot more content that comes soon. Have a great day.